I am going to tell you the story of how I ran 48.6 miles with broken ribs, and I'm going to tell you what I needed and what I used to get through that. I know a lot of you struggle with not being able to succeed on your goals because you give up. You can't take the pain, you get lazy, you get frustrated, you procrastinate, and all of those things. So I'm going to give you one of my top secrets for getting through, for doing something like this. And I'm going to tell you the story of how I broke those ribs, how I ran that race, and what happened. I'm John from BulldogMindset.com. Yeah, I ran what is called the Dopey Challenge. I've got the medal here. I actually got like 5 or 6 medals from the whole challenge. What it is it's 48.6 miles over 4 days. So you run a 5K, you run a 10K, you run a half marathon, and then you run a full marathon all back to back. Wake up at 3 a.m. every morning, and then you go and you do that race. Now, I trained for this. I had just finished running the Las Vegas marathon. I signed up for this race, okay, and I signed up to run with St. Jude. I actually did this for charity. Ended up raising about $10,000, so thanks to those of you that helped raise that money for St. Jude. Really great cause, really helping children. What ended up happening was I was training for this race, training really hard. About 2 weeks out from this challenge, okay, I was in Muay Thai class, okay, and I got a nasty knee, actually 2 knees to the ribs when I was sparring, and my ribs cracked. I wasn't sure, how bad it was then. I know it hurt to breathe, but by the next day I knew that my ribs were broken. It was no joke. It really hurt to breathe. I could hardly breathe. Every time I took a breath, it was just incredible pain. I couldn't sleep, right? Could hardly walk. I was faced with the problem of that I had this race, this incredible, crazy race, 48.6 miles in 2 weeks, and I still needed to train for it. I got my running shoes on that Sunday, the next day, and I needed to run a 15-mile run, so I said to myself, hey, you know what, John? Just gonna get out there, gonna put the shoes on, gonna jog, gonna start running, and it might be painful, but you're gonna have to do what you gotta do, and you're gonna have to make it. That's what I did. I got myself ready, got my gear on, started running, and it was worse than I thought. Okay, it was painful the whole time. It was about like a 2.5-hour run of just sheer pain, just every breath, just trying to get through it. I couldn't even listen to music. I couldn't listen to audiobook. I couldn't do anything because the pain was so bad. All I could do was focus on putting one step in front of the other and just one foot in front of the other. So I got through that, okay, and the rest of the week, I was hoping that by the time 2 weeks had passed, that I'd be okay, that the ribs weren't really broken, I'd be okay, and I could run at least a half marathon and marathon free of pain, or at least not in debilitating pain. No such luck. I ended up training all the way up to the race, took a couple of days off before the race, and then on the 5K day, I got up there and I ran my 5K, and I actually tried to run it a little bit fast, and it was still pain. It wasn't as bad, and I thought, okay, well, maybe I'm gonna be okay. Maybe in a couple of days when I run the marathon, the real challenge, that'll be all right. After running that 5K, the next day when I ran the 10K, and I still couldn't sleep, it was worse, and I could tell that it was just going to get worse and worse because the running was not helping with the ribs, and they were not healed yet. I basically ran the 10K, was dying, was thinking, how the hell am I going to run a half marathon the next day? Got up, at my 3 a.m. wake up time, got out there in the freezing cold, and I just put one step and one foot in front of the other, and step, ran the half marathon. And that's where I thought, this is it. The half marathon was hard enough. How are you gonna even just running full marathon is a challenge. I don't know if you've ever run a full marathon. It's not fun. Okay, it's hard. It's 4 hours on average of running time, of constantly running, somewhere between 3.5 to 4.5 hours, I'd say, right? Maybe 5 hours. Running a half marathon is a challenge for sure, but running a marathon is a big challenge. And running a marathon after running a half marathon, when you're not sleeping, when you're tired, I was just like, what am I going to do here? What I did was I just said, hey, John, here, again, the same thing I said the previous week. And I'm going to tell you a little bit after the story about what exactly that is, what the technique is. But I said to myself, I said, hey, John, you know what? You just got to wake up, okay? And you got to put on your shoes, and you got to go out there, and you got to go to the start line, and you just got to start running. By this time, my ribs were hurting pretty bad. Not as bad as 2 weeks ago when they first got broken, and it hurt like every breath. It still hurt to breathe, but just not as bad. My feet were in bad shape as well, But you know what? I woke up in the morning, I got out there, I got to the start line. When the race started, I started running. Okay, and I wasn't running fast, but I was running, maybe 9-minute mile. Tried to bring down my pace to 8.5-minute mile to see if I could get a new PR. Could see quickly by mile 7 that was not going to happen. And then I just ran my race. There's a lot of pain. There were parts in the race where I just thought there's no way, I don't know how I'm going to continue. But I did. I pushed on. I kept on going, and I said to myself, I'm going to get to that finish line, and I did. And I got to the finish line, got the medal, finished the challenge. It was tough. Let me tell you about how I did that. Okay, what it took in order to do that. You may have heard of David Goggins. Okay, and he wrote a really good book, Can't Hurt Me. You may have wondered when you read that book, how did he do it? Okay, how did David Goggins do this? And this is the same reason why when I broke the ribs, I didn't go to the doctor. Okay, even though people are like, oh, you could have a punctured lung, you need to go to the doctor, you need to see, you need to get x-rays. And I said, the secret to all of this, the reason why I was able to do this is because of one word, and it is commitment. I don't leave myself a way out. Never in my mind, okay, when I signed up to do this Dopey challenge, to run this, never in my mind did I leave myself ever a way out. I said to myself from the very beginning that I am going to run this race no matter what happens. Okay, if I am able to do it, I will do it. When those ribs got cracked, I didn't think to myself, I'm probably not going to be able to run this race. What I thought to myself was, how the fuck am I going to do it? It's going to be harder now. That's what I thought to myself. I didn't think that I'm not going to. See, at no moment, at no point did I ever believe or allow myself to entertain the belief that I was not going to do it. And that's the key, okay? It seems real simple, but that's the key. Whatever you're trying to do in life, if you want to do it, if you want to have that kind of grit, that mental toughness that's going to get you through it, that's going to allow you to run 48.6 miles with broken ribs, the way that you're going to do it is you're going to decide that you're going to do it, you're going to commit, that one word commit, and then you're never going to entertain the idea of not doing it. You're going to make a decision, a forward decision. This is equivalent of burning the boats. There's no retreat. There's no going back. Once you said you're going to do something, you're going to do it. I posted on the Bulldog Mindset Instagram, as I said when I finished the race, and I had the pictures of the race, I said, the key thing is I did what I said. I said I was going to do something, and I did it. And that's the principle. That's the person you have to be. You have to decide if you're a bulldog. And by the way, if you haven't, go and take that bulldog quiz and see how much of a bulldog you are. I've got a link in the card and also in the description. But you have to decide, are you a bulldog? And if you are a bulldog, how do you behave? What do you do? Do you give up? Do you choose a path? Maybe. No. When you choose a path, when you choose to do something, again, this is where that bulldog mindset comes from. This is where the image of a bulldog comes from, is someone who bites on and doesn't let go. A lot of people have asked me about this channel. They've said, John, why bulldog mindset? Bulldogs are kind of, they're kind of happy dogs. They're not fierce, ferocious dogs. True. Okay? They're not pit bulls. They're not Doberman Shepherds or whatever. I don't know what kind of ferocious dog that you like. Okay? Not a fucking wolf. But what a bulldog does, what a bulldog is known for, is biting and holding on to that thing. And see, the thing is, it doesn't look as ferocious. It doesn't look as dangerous. Okay? But it's key. It's key. It's the mindset. It's to say that I am going to hold on. And nothing is going to stop me once I have set my mind to a thing, once I have chosen something to bite into. And for me, with this Dopey challenge, I bit into this. I said, I am going to do this. Never did I allow myself the chance of saying that maybe I won't. So that's the key thing, guys. All right. The reason why you're failing, the reason why you're fucking up, the reason why you can't get where you want to get, it's not because you're not smart enough. It's not because you're not skilled enough. It's not because you're not willing to work hard enough. You are. It's because you just won't hold on. It's because you're entertaining the idea of failure, of not doing it. If you're dead set that you must succeed and you must find a way, and you are committed, and that's what's driving you, and the thought of giving up or not doing it never crosses your mind, or as soon as it does, you block it out, you're going to find a way to make it. You only fail when you give up. And if you don't give up, if you're not willing to submit, you're not going to fail. And I'll talk to you next time. Take care.